talk about Bernard Mornah. Angry members of the inter-party resistance against the new register marched in solidarity with chairman of the PNC, Bernard Mornah, earlier today to the police headquarters. The PNC chairman has been invited by the police CID today over comments he made about the Electoral Commission. Last week, he was reported to have said he'll beat up EC officials if he is provoked or attacked by them. Today, Mr. Mornah is refusing to retract the comment, saying that he will continue to repeat even if it costs him his life.
Freedom. Freedom will never fall onto a people. A people might raise themselves to freedom. We shall not allow our freedoms in any form to be trampled by any person. President Nana Akufo-Addo cannot stifle the freedoms that we are granted by the Constitution. Those freedoms include the freedom to speak. And we will speak. We will dare them and we will speak the truth. Because at all points in time, we must correct the ills in our society, which ills, if we don't correct, have the potential of eroding the peace and stability of our nation. And therefore, this afternoon, I have just gone through a cordial process with the police. My statement is, and I quote, that I made the statements that are contained in the 37 seconds video that they showed to me. And that I stand by those statements and I had nothing more to add. I promised you that whatever I said that occasion the invitation, I stand by it. The Electoral Commission of Ghana must know that their actions have the potential to plunge this nation into calamity. We are cautioning them that if they do not heed to us and anything happens to this country, they will not be safe. It is unthinkable that chiefs, community leaders will sit in their communities. Electoral Commission staff will get there and tell those people that they are not Ghanaians on the basis that they don't have Ghana card and passport. It will not happen. We are Ghanaians before national passports. We are Ghanaians before the Ghana card or ECOWAS card. ECOWAS card will not determine whether we are Ghanaians or otherwise. So it is important that the police, some of who are here, who are desiring for change, that they must wake up to the reality that anything that the Electoral Commission does that plunges this nation into calamity, there the police will also be affected. Whether they beat us, whether they kill us, we will continue to stand up for our rights as citizens of this nation, because our great-grandfathers used their toil and their blood to ensure our independence. We shall protect it. I want to thank all of you that without invitation, you have come here to show solidarity. I want to thank our legal team for the professional manner in which they led this process. And to the many that have not been able to come here, I assure you, I will never be intimidated. I will come to you in your various communities preaching that we should resist the voters register because it is a recipe for disaster. God bless you. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make us, our nation, great and strong. But above all, make us resist oppressors' rule. Thank you, and may God bless us all. Well, they said that my comments were conducive for the breach of peace, and I told them that my comments were conducive for the promotion of peace.
Yes. So you haven't been charged with anything?
That's all. I told them that I stand by the 37-second video that they showed me, and I will not answer any other question. Apart from that, what else could they have done? Every other Tuesday, every 2 weeks. So on the 16th, yes. Wherever I am in the country, I'll report to the police there, not just the headquarters.
Mornah there, speaking to the media. His point is that he's been asked to come to the CID quarters every other 2 days. He made it clear to the police that he still stands by his words and that he is not going to retract it. His comment is rather meant to promote peace and not chaos. So these are the words of Mr. Bernard Mornah, who just walked out of the CID headquarters. The police are still waiting to ensure that the crowd disperses. Now that the demand has been met, that they wanted the PNC chairman to be released, and he has been released, the police is just waiting patiently to ensure that the crowd disperses so that at least they can restore, they can go back to their normal duties. For now, the police tells us that they are maintaining law and order here at the CID headquarters. And of course, quite a number of them are here, of course, ready if in case perhaps the crowd would want to cause riots or chaos, and then they'll move in to quickly restore calm and order. So this is the situation here at the CID headquarters.
That was the situation. Parker is joining me via Zoom. Parker, what more can you report?
Hi, so the situation is quite different now because Mr. Mornah has been granted bail, and the supporters at the time I was leaving the CID headquarters had dispersed. His lawyers, Dr. Daudu and Raymond Achiguba, led a peaceful process. I mean, he was interrogated for about 3 hours, and after which we were told that he was granted bail with a sum of 20,000 Ghana cedis. Now, according to the CID, he was cautioned with offensive conduct conducive to the breaches of peace. We can listen to Juliana Obeng, the CID public relations officer, when I spoke to her.
The national chairman for the PNT party, as you know, was invited to report to CID today. He has come. He came this morning. We've spoken to him. He has not been charged, but he's been cautioned. He's been cautioned with Section 207 of the Criminal Offences Code Act and Other Offences Act. He's supposed to be reporting every other week to the CID headquarters here. Or if for any reason he is not able to come, he communicates with us, and we permit him to report to any regional command where he will find himself at that moment. His bail condition is with a surety and the sum of 20,000 Ghana cedis.
So did he satisfy the bail condition?
Yes, that's why he's been granted bail.
So what was the question again? You said something. What was the question?
Section 207 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act, which says offensive conduct conducive to the breaches of the peace.
So is it fair to say that the police has officially launched investigations into the words or the comment of the PNC National Chairman?
Yes, it is. I think it is on the back of that the invitation was extended to him over comments that he made against EC, the Electoral Commission. And so that's the reason we invited him in the first place. Like I said, he has reported today. He's been spoken to. His statement has been taken. He's been cautioned with Section 207 of the Criminal Offences Code. Criminal Offences Act and Other Offences, and he's to report every other Tuesday. That makes it to report once every 2 weeks, and he's been granted bail with a surety, one surety, in the sum of 20,000 Ghana cedis. Investigation still continues. At the appropriate time, when investigation is able to direct that we go for prosecution, yes, we would go for prosecution.
So the police not sure whether it's something that you want to prosecute?
To say that police is not sure, I do not want to badge to that. We can only say that investigations have just started. And so, like I said, if at the appropriate time, the police finds it necessary to go to court, yes, the docket will be taken for advice and we would go to court for prosecution.
DSP Juliano being there speaks for the CID. So, Parker, how did it finally end after Mr. Mornah issued that statement?
Right, so the supporters were excited that finally Mr. Mornah has been granted bail. Initially, they were demanding for his release. In fact, when the rain set in, many thought that they would have probably seek shelter somewhere, but most of them defied the rains and were in the middle of the road with the police as well, still asking that the solidarized with Mr. Mornah, who at the time was excited over his bail, and saying that at any day or any time he's invited to the CID, they will support him, they will mass up there and throw their weight behind Mr. Mornah, who was invited by the CID today.
Parker, thank you very much for that update. Chrissy Parker Wilson, my colleague who covered what you just saw, the invitation of Bernard Mornah, the PNC's chairman Bernard Mornah there. It's still a developing story. We'll bring you more on that. I got some message here on the back of that particular story. Let me read it to you. It says, if PNC does not sack Bernard Mornah, most of us will leave the party for him alone to manage, because he claims to be PNC, but you are alleging that he works for the NDC. It means he doesn't want PNC to come to power. Since he's in bed with the NDC, he should be sacked straightforward with no hesitation. See if I can take one more. Okay, to some extent you're talking about voters register. Most of you are talking about voters register. I'll take a break here. This is your election headquarters.